So I'm going to be doing a lot of editing this month, I decided, because I was bored. So I've chosen an ambitious deadline to redo my manuscript of my first draft of my novel. So I get scared whenever I think about going back to editing a big project. Of late, this is how I've felt. And I think it's because in the past I've tried to edit projects and I've gotten really stuck, like not knowing what to do, so I don't want to start a new big project because I'm scared that'll happen again, and I also don't want to revisit big projects because I don't know how to unstuck myself. But it's been about a year since I worked on this NaNoWriMo book project I talked about a year ago. It's in a modern setting, kind of the idea of like what would happen to the siblings of Romeo and Juliet after Romeo and Juliet die. That one. So Juliet has a younger sister and Romeo has a younger brother and they hate each other. So that's the premise and I just liked it. But the first time I wrote it, I felt good about it, but then like towards the end I was just like, there's not like enough here, I'm missing something. And then about a month ago I finally started just writing stuff down again about it. Let's see, what do I want to talk about first? Things that have helped me start reworking on this project. I've been handwriting everything. It helps you to stop editing as you go, which is my huge problem. This is like everything I've written so far on the project. This is basically an outline, and it's going really good so far. I got the idea to handwrite from this book, The Artful Edit by Susan Bell. When I start on a project, I just like to have a guide. Like I like to pretend that there are rules, that if I just follow them, it'll all work out fine. This is a great book because she basically just talks about what works for a lot of writers. Like it's just like a great guide to editing. So I've been reading that, and I've also been reading parts of this. For those of you who don't know, this is by Cheryl B. Klein. She is big in the Harry Potter fan world because she actually was an editor on the books. But this is her book called Second Sight. I'd highly recommend the chapter called 4 Techniques to Get at the Emotional Heart of Your Story. But she talks about conflict, mystery, and lack, and that really helped me with this. Going back to this project, because now I feel like I've really specified the lack in my story and I've added a mystery component that like could have been there the first draft, but I didn't really like see how to like set it up and keep it like guessing for the reader. Anyway, so now there's just, I feel like I have more to write now. When I want to like remember what I'm feeling while I'm brainstorming this part of the story, I want to put a sticky note to be like, emotionally we're really feeling this as part of the story, because it's more than just like what's happening, it's like how you write it to make it feel a certain way to the reader. That's my goal. So I have these. This one says like mystery, because I want to like set up the part of the story where the audience is really gonna be like, but what happened? Like who did it? And like, well, here, lack, where I want her to, it to be like she's really alienated and doesn't have anyone. And I want the audience to really like feel that lack with her. Oh, and I guess the other thing that I decided would help me is pick a deadline. So my goal by the end of January, it's not a very specific goal, like not a word count or anything, it's just I want a second written version of my manuscript. The other good thing with announcing a deadline is that it like keeps you accountable and it makes you like more serious about it. But yeah, so I guess my guide to editing for what's working for me so far would be to find some books written by people who make you feel better. I've chosen these two. Doing an outline first and then going to the manuscript. Write things by hand and having a deadline. Those are my 4. Those are my things. I don't know how many I've said. No, I forgot one thing. Actually, the biggest thing that's helping me edit is to not be so rigid. It's just really loosening up. That's why I really recommend the writing by hand. Yeah, I was talking to someone who was giving me advice. She was really helpful and she was just like, who says you have to do it a certain way? And that was how I came up with it. She was like, well, if you were just gonna like take a guess at how you'd write a book, like how would you do it? And I was like, just stay big picture, do a big picture pass, write an outline, and just not get hung up on the details, just keep going. So, yeah, that's just a little insight into what I'm working on right now. Would love to hear how your projects are going, what you're struggling with. Feel free to do this with me if you want to edit with me and we can all commiserate and tweet about it. I think that's about it. Shall we sign off, mi tigre? Thank you guys for watching. I'm surprised I haven't put you in videos yet. This is Tiger. You should have me name him. That's not his name. That's a terrible name. Sometimes I call him Jesus Tiger because he has a hole in his side. That's why I got him on sale. You should leave me comments about what to name him. Alright, I'm signing off for real. Thanks for watching, and I'll talk to you soon. Take care.